Welcome back to Food FAQ, everyone, where we're trying to work on that kitchen confidence, one episode at a time. How are you doing, Keter?
I'm doing great, Maddie. How are you doing?
Why are you snickering a little bit? You have like a mischievous face on.
This is my normal face.
Well, maybe I'm just a little tipsy or something.
Well, it is spring happy hour, Maddie.
Whoa! And what does that mean to us?
I think of drinks that are light, airy, maybe a little spicy, maybe a little fruity.
And maybe batch drinks. I think a batch drink.
Batch drinks are fantastic.
Right? Especially when you're, entertaining, obviously, because, unless you like a lot of alcohol.
Correct.
But a batch drink is like low effort, high yield. And if you make these two recipes that we're going to share today, your friends are going to love you.
I agree.
And you don't have to stop and make something. There's nothing more annoying when you're entertaining people where you have to be like, oh, everybody fucking stop. I'm going to go over there and make this last thing. It's so annoying.
Now, these are pretty easy to make, especially yours. Yours can definitely go into a batch. I'm going to tell you about my breakfast drink. So here's the thing. I kind of messed up and forgot an ingredient I was supposed to have for the beverage that I was going to come to you with today. So I completely did something completely different.
Okay.
Because I had one of the alcohol components, not the other one. Anyways, my fault. I thought I had tequila at home. I didn't. So anyway, and I was not going back out. So anyways, so what I decided to do is I decided to just, go in my head, think of something, and something simple. I decided to do a strawberry bellini. So bellinis are typically done with peaches.
Yeah.
And I thought, why not do this with strawberries? Because I have the strawberries.
Okay.
So what I did is I took about 8 ounces of strawberries. You want to cut them up. So it's about a cup, I would say, of strawberries. Okay. There's a couple ways you can do this. Okay. Let's just do it the simple way. So you go ahead, you're going to take the strawberries and you're going to put them in a bowl and you're going to put about 2 tablespoons of sugar in it. And then you're just going to mash the strawberries together. That's all you're going to do. You're just going to mash it and you're going to let it just come into like this like goopy, saucy strawberry mixture. There are other ways you could do it. You could put it in a pot. You can heat it up. You can put the sugar in it. The sugar will dissolve better that way.
We're not going to do
that. I'm not doing that. Okay. Especially for a breakfast beverage. It's not happening. Not happening, Mariela. Not happening.
Get that inside of you as fast as you can.
You got to get the drink in you. Okay. It's a hard week and you want to have a good weekend. Kick it off with this. And then what you're going to do is so now this makes 2 drinks roughly. Okay. So obviously if you're going to have more people, make more. And you're going to go ahead. I did mine in wine glasses because I don't have champagne flutes. I don't think our generation has that sort of stuff.
I don't think so either.
No. So I put them in wine glasses.
Yeah.
And you're going to take about half of the strawberry mixture and you're going to put them in each wine glass. And then that's it, Maddie. You're going to fill the rest up with your favorite champagne. You could also use Prosecco. Just give it a little bit of stir and you're done. And it was really good, by the way.
Was it?
It was really different. It was really good. So I think like strawberries and champagne go good together anyways.
Totally.
And I'm just drinking it and I just realized, obviously I assume most people have had a bellini out there, maybe not. But, this can be really done with any type of fruit. You can do it with blueberries. You can do it with raspberries. You can do it with cherries. You can do really with your any favorite fruit. The only fruit I really probably wouldn't. Yeah.
I'm sorry. I had an idea. Tell me if I'm crazy. I'm like thinking about guava a lot lately because I have to make guava cupcakes and I've been thinking about it. Right. But imagine, right? Could you get guava like jelly or jam? It comes in like a different consistency, not like the paste that we're used to. And maybe like put a little bit of hot water or something to make it liquidy and then make a bellini out of that. Would that be something that could be done, you think?
I don't see why not.
I think that's kind of smart.
I don't see why not. I mean, I think you definitely could. The thing with guava, you really got to make sure your guava is ripe. I had guava not too long ago, like as the actual fruit. Now, growing up, I was accustomed to guava like in the paste form, like a pastelito
like a
or
block.
Just like the block of guava that you eat with the cheese and stuff like that. And that's really sweetened. And I think for the first time ever in my life, I had guava in actual just the fruit form. And what's interesting about guava in the fruit form, it's almost floral tasting. So that's what I'm saying. It can definitely work. You know what? It can absolutely work. Right. Just make sure that when you do this with the guava, you put it through a mesh filter because guava have little seeds in it.
Has grit.
So make sure you do the mesh filter.
I don't know why, but that sounds kind of exciting to me.
That does sound really different too. I actually like that idea.
Like a guavalini. We're making some.
Yeah, that's actually pretty groundbreaking.
Right?
Yeah, I actually like that. And it's not a fruit you can really easily get your hands on though.
It really isn't. And even here, honestly, I don't know if you know this, but guava is very apt to get worms in it, and they're hard to see because there's so many tiny seeds and holes in the fruit. So I'm very careful when I eat a guava because I don't want to fucking eat a worm, you know?
I mean, at least it's natural.
That's fine. But they sell it in a jar and I'm good with that, you know? I like it in the jar.
I wonder if you could almost use like, because you can buy like the guava shells in a jar.
You can process it.
At least where you are, you can buy the guava shells in a jar. I'm almost wondering, I don't know if it'd be too sweet. I'm almost wondering if you could use a guava jam at that point.
I think a jam to use a bellini is something I've never thought of before and can really work.
Well, there was a big thing on TikTok not too long ago where people are using different like sugar-free jams and stuff like that inside like their bubbly water to give the water like some extra flavor. And people really, and I didn't know, I'm lying to you. I've done that before with the bubbly water and the jam, and it is really good. So, you could do a guava with like a champagne or a prosecco.
I think that I'm going to try that and then maybe we'll report back because I feel like that is really smart because you don't have to have the fresh fruit on hand, which sometimes people don't, maybe our listeners, I think maybe some of them don't,
I mean, I think the thing is too, when it comes to something like this, it's a really versatile beverage. Mm-hmm. So use really any fruit that you really like. Just remember, if you are going to use a jam, use a jam, don't use a jelly. There is a complete difference. Please don't use a jelly. You're going to have like little floating blobs in your drink. And then just remember also, when you do a jam, there's a lot of sugar in them. So maybe not adding extra sugar because it's going to make it ultra sweet at that point. Right. But now that I think about it, you could probably almost use any jam or marmalade or things like that to make this with.
Jamballinis. You heard it here first.
Jamballinis. That's right. Trademark food FAQ.
Love it so much. It hurts.
I got to try this weekend.
Maybe we'll make another episode on this and we'll just like talk about all of our experiences with Jamballinis. Yeah. You like this? I agree.
I like this. That's a really good idea. So we got to try it out. We got to test it out and see how well it is. And I really like that out.
Stay tuned, guys.
Yeah.
Let's do that. So missing an ingredient is something I do often. So good for you for thinking on your feet and making something different.
I tried.
With what you had. What I like the most about you, Eric, is your humility.
It's my number one quality.
Wow. I mean, you, Mother Teresa.
That's what most people point out to me. That I'm so loved and endeared.
There it is again, huh? Yep. So good.
I'm humbling myself to this.
But anyhow, but I really do think that's awesome because I might have been very disappointed and not done anything. So good on you. I want to preface my drink by saying that I did not create this. I first had it. Okay, so first of all, you're not a parent, Keeter, but I'm sure you can imagine and know that being around a bunch of people that you don't necessarily would ever be around is uncomfortable.
Right.
But then you have to be. And that's what being a parent is. You have to be in these constant social situations that you don't necessarily choose for yourself. But there you are. And I'm a person, like, I like people, but I don't like a lot of people at the same time. I get very anxious when there's a lot of people. But I digress. When you meet a parent at school that you actually like, it's phenomenal, because you feel like, oh my God, thank God there's normalcy around here, especially in Miami. Miami's a little bit bougie, and maybe, whatever. So I say all of this because the first time I had this was at a kid's birthday party, which was to me beautiful because a lot of these people like to pretend.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then that Sharon's knocking back a glass of wine every day. She just doesn't want to talk about it, Right. So anyway, this drink came to me via a cool mom at a kid's party where everyone was just having a little sip and enjoying the outside. And I thought it was the coolest drink I've ever had. And I came home and I told Eric about it immediately. I was like, Keeter, I had this drink. It's freaking so good. So I asked her for the recipe and she sent me a link. It's some guy. Honestly, I don't remember. I'll try to link it in the show notes so you guys can see it. But this is what it basically is. You buy is it Simply Lemonade, Keeter?
Yeah, Simply Lemonade or Simply Limeade.
Right. I bought the diet because I thought, why not, right? Don't do that. Buy the regular, either limeade or lemonade. And then the bottle you throw out or put aside. Don't throw it out. And actually I have a little tip for that. You take out about a third of the juice or the lemonade from the bottle. And then you cut up as many strawberries as you'd like. I'd say at least a half a cup, but you can go north of that if you decide. And then you take a nice little jalapeno and you slice it up into chunks and you put it in there. I made a mistake and I put 2 in there because mine were thinner and I thought, oh, it's not enough heat. 1 is enough heat regardless of the size of the pepper. Maybe even half if you're not a lover of spice. And then you fill up the rest with tequila.
Did you leave the seeds in your jalapeno?
I did, but maybe I won't next time, I think. Maybe. I don't know. My friend leaves hers in and hers is delightful, but I feel it's because I use too many peppers.
Right.
Then you go ahead, you put the cap on, you turn it like upside down just to get all the stuff in there, and then you pop it in your fridge overnight. And then the next day you have the most delightful lemony, strawberry, a little bit of heat in the background. You serve it over ice, and then you can just have that in a cooler if you're having something outside. You can just have the whole bottle in the cooler. No problem.
I love this drink. I really want to try it. I haven't tried it yet, but I'm really excited about this.
It is so fucking good that if you don't try this spring or winter or summer, whatever fucking celebration we're having right now, like you're missing out. And then I had this idea. The kids were watching me make the drink and my daughter, like I never drink. So when she sees me preparing anything with alcohol, she's like, Mom, are you drinking alcohol? And then she watches me.
She monitors how many you have.
Yeah. So the third of the bottle that I put in another cup, I had a Flanagan's cup. If you're from down here in Florida, you know that these are big, giant plastic cups. So I put it in there and then I cut up strawberries and I put the strawberries in that. And then I had those sit overnight and I gave that to the kids the next day because why not?
Or you can make them into ice cubes and when you pour them into your drink, you won't water down your drink.
Absolutely. You could do that too. But if you have kids who are nosy, like mine, you could include them in the whole celebration by adding that. Oh, and then it turns into like a little pink color, like a slight blush the next day. It is pretty too, by the way. It is pretty and you can serve this to anybody. Like, and the alcohol doesn't taste strong, but
Right.
it does inebriates you. At least me. I don't drink a lot and I drank some and I was like, hey, yes.
It was good time, Mariela, once again.
You remember those things?
I do remember.
I'm still a good time. Thank you very much.
You are. It's a different good time. We're both a different good time.
You know? But yeah, this drink is fantastic. Your drink sounds amazing. These are the kind of drinks you need, especially if you listen to our episodes from last week where you had a little picnic. This is the kind of thing you want to bring because you could bring your stuff, like the jammy stuff.
Right. Your drink is really good though for a picnic because it's literally in the bottle.
It's in the bottle.
It's in the bottle. Right.
Yes. You just have to pour it.
Really portable.
Yes. So even if you don't like drinking too much, you're going to like this drink for sure. And your drink too, because it's a little bubble. It's just a little bubble.
Yeah. It's a little classy.
You know, I don't like drinking too much, but if I drink champagne or sparkling wine or whatever, it sits better with me. I don't know what it is.
Yeah. Champagne goes to my head really fast.
It's a drink of whores.
Thanks.
I'm including myself. Okay.
Of classy whores, Mariela. Okay.
Thank you.
Champagne's not always the cheapest, so it's of classy whores.
I don't even know what good champagne is, honestly, but
I mean, something like this, you can go buy just like a regular champagne in your grocery store. You don't have to special order anything because you're going to put a sweetened fruit in there. Right. So, you know, it's not going to be a champagne that you would, you know, you still want to be a decent tasting champagne, or a Prosecco, but it's not going to be something that you're going to be upset that you ruined a $200 bottle of champagne. You know, go spend, you know, $20 at the grocery store. Like you don't need
Aldi.
Exactly. You don't need to go super pricey.
It's like sangria, you know, like, does it have to be the best wine in the world?
It's going to be okay wine, but right, because you're adding a bunch of things to it to flavor it.
Yeah. It's, you know, if you're trying to get a bunch of people to have drinks with you, that's the best way to go.
Yeah, I totally agree.
Yeah. So go out there and get a little tipsy, y'all. It's time to be out. How's the weather? The weather's good, right?
Yeah, it got really warm right now, and then it's going to drop back into like the 40s again.
Fucking spring is so neurotic.
I fucking hate spring. Like, either be hot or be cold. Like, I can't deal with this up and down.
So the weekend will be cold too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Well, the next time you have a nice warmer weekend, and you can be out there sitting in the sun.
I don't go outside and heat, Mariela. We know this.
Not you, but the regular people.
Okay.
Have a drink.
Have a good drink. I'll have my drink indoors with my air conditioning.
We hope you enjoy these recipes. Give them a shot and drop us a line. Don't forget to leave us a review on your favorite podcast player and share this recipe with a friend. Maybe one of you can make one and the other one can make the other. And everybody will just get nice and tipsy together. Pick a recipe from one of our appetizer episodes. We got to do one of those. Yum. I love appetizers.
I'm good at that. We'll do an appetizer episode.
You're good at that, are you? There's that humility again. It's gorgeous. I love it.
It is. You're welcome.
All right, everybody. Have a beautiful week and we'll catch up with you soon. Bye.
Bye.
My humble jumble.
That's my name, Humble Eric.